Hello, everyone. Welcome to Soothing Sundays. How are you? How's everyone? We'll get started in a minute. I'm going at a different time today because I have plans this evening. So we're starting a little bit earlier. And if you're new to Soothing Sundays, this is for us to have an amazing week. Just rewire the brain, get the brain primed and ready, and the nervous system to have the best week. And I'm also here to answer your questions, hear about your progress, anything like that. So, and I know a lot of people that usually are here for Soothing Sundays might not because of Mother's Day. And if you are celebrating Mother's Day, I hope you're having a wonderful time if you're watching this later. And if you are a mother, happy Mother's Day to you. Hi, I comment to make you angry. Hello, how are you? You're not celebrating Mother's Day? I mean, obviously I'm not either at the moment. But anyway, so yeah, I'm going to go over another neuroconditioning affirmations to have an amazing week and just regulate your nervous system. Sometimes this can happen on autopilot. You guys, your brain is like, it's Sunday scaries, and it starts spiraling in that direction just because that's what you're used to. And so we're just reprogramming the brain. We're creating a new baseline state and a new habit. So now you can start associating Sundays with like joy and peace and like, oh, it's going to be a great week and something to look forward to. And that also primes your brain to think a lot more positively about your life as well. So it's good to do that in a lot of ways because everything is the meaning that we assign it. It's not actually what it is. It's the meaning that we assign it. So even trauma is that way. And they've studied this a bunch. Why is something that's really traumatizing to someone not to someone else? We have different associations, and maybe you were upset about something and you're not. Have you ever, had gone through a breakup and at the time it just felt horrible and then now it's not? It's because your brain has associated something different with that experience or relationship. So that's all that's all we're doing here on Soothing Sundays is priming your brain and nervous system to have a wonderful week. And so you come back next Sunday and tell us about all of your wins for the week. And I love you guys when you guys celebrate your wins, like what you're working on for the week, and then also celebrating anything that you did. That please write it in the comments and we will cheer you on for that, because that's always what we're trying to do. If you are at any of the live streams, that's what we talk about a lot. It's like, okay, what are we reprogramming our brain, like kind of like an upgrade, right? If your brain is a computer, you want to refresh the app or get rid of old apps that aren't just running in the background that are draining your energy. It could be a resentment, it could be anything like that, like the app of the brain. Any kind of self-judgment, we want to clear those out and make space for the good stuff. So when I go live, which is twice a week, we're doing that. And so Sundays is about reprogramming the brain to have an amazing week. So last week I did affirmations, and you guys have been really liking the affirmation content. So I am going to do more of that. So these are affirmations. I did 2 posts. One was an affirmation through like neuroconditioning affirmations to rewire your brain for prosperity, and the other one's for relationships. Those are separate posts. This one that we're doing now for Soothing Sundays is neuroconditioning and affirmations to rewire your brain and nervous system to have the most amazing week. So I'm going to say them first to you, and then you can repeat them to yourself. You are going to have a beautiful, joyful, and abundant week. You move through this week with confidence, ease, and clarity. You naturally attract wonderful experiences, opportunities, and connections. You are aligned with success, happiness, and prosperity every day. You radiate energy of love and inspiration wherever you go. You experience harmony, fulfillment, and excitement all throughout this week. You are supported by endless abundance, prosperity, creativity, and expansion. You celebrate yourself, your growth, and all of the amazing things that are going to unfold for you this week. You feel energized, refreshed, and deeply connected to your highest vision. You receive love, blessings, joy, and abundance with an open heart and so much gratitude continuously. It's just continuously coming in for you. And now, and this is for deeper programming, I'm going to say it in the first person, and you could say it out loud or to yourself. I am going to have a beautiful, joyful, and abundant week. I move through this week with confidence, ease, and clarity. I naturally attract wonderful experiences, opportunities, and connections. I am aligned with success, happiness, and prosperity every day. I radiate positive energy, love, and inspiration wherever I go. I experience harmony, fulfillment, and excitement all throughout the week. I am supported by endless abundance, financial prosperity, creativity, and expansion. I celebrate myself, my growth, and all of the amazing things that are unfolding for me. I feel energized, refreshed, and deeply connected to my highest vision. I receive love, blessings, joy, abundance, financial prosperity with an open heart, continuously coming in all throughout the week. Okay, now say those to yourself repeatedly. You could go back and watch this again. And you kind of want to, some people call it like brainwashing. You just want to repeat that over and over again and then add feeling to it. You know, when you've heard a song a million times and then you're singing it along and then you're like, yeah, and you have all the feeling attached to it. And you could immerse yourself in that reality. And it actually changes your feeling state. And when you're able to change your feeling state, you could draw new things into your reality. So continue to read those and let them resonate with you and feel them like they're true. And so for Mother's Day, I thought I would talk about narcissistic mothers, how to have. I do get a lot of questions about it. I did a live stream on TikTok yesterday about it, just talking to people and answering their questions about it. And sometimes, days like this, Mother's Day, Father's Day, holidays, can be difficult for people that don't have a relationship with their mother in this case, because it's Mother's Day, that they want to celebrate. You might not really talk to your mom or get along with her that well. And typically, people that have gone no contact with their mother or parents, it's because you have tried everything. You've literally tried everything at least 10 times, and you've tried speaking to them at least 10 times, or hundreds of times, excuse me. And you have to come to the unfortunate conclusion that it's not going to work. And for your own physical, literally mental and emotional well-being, and even like your spiritual well-being, you need to discontinue this relationship. And that could be with anyone, but it is I think extra heartbreaking when it is your mother or a parent of yours, or someone that was close to like a family member, because especially, we're told like, oh, family's family and your family loves you no matter what. But if you didn't get that treatment growing up, that your family or your parents love you unconditionally, especially with narcissistic parents, they don't love you unconditionally. They don't even love themselves. And I don't really even think they're choosing to not have the capacity to love their children, because everything is about them and offloading all of their guilt and shame onto the people that are closest to them, like narcissists always do. The closer you are to a narcissist, the more you get the real side of them. And then the more shallow, superficial relationships, they're so nice and charismatic and all funny, all of the things that you wish they were all the time. So, but in terms of narcissistic mothers or narcissistic parents, there is this extra grieving process that you go through that you don't even realize is a thing until you're an adult, because you look back and you're like, I never got the mom that I wanted. Yes, maybe she was physically there, but she didn't give me that love or that motherly, maternal, like, energy that I needed. She didn't tell me I was beautiful. She didn't do all the things that mothers do or provide safety and emotional security. They just don't have the capacity. They're choosing to not have the capacity to do that. It presents like, oh, they did their best and they didn't have the capacity to do that. They did what they wanted to do. And even looking back, there's no accountability for the past. A lot of my clients that have narcissistic parents, it's one of the first things they tell me. Like, I've tried to talk to my um, mom or parent, my narcissistic parent, about the past and how it hurt me, to have like a conversation, thinking like some kind of accountability would be taken. There is no accountability to be taken when it comes to any type of narcissist, but especially narcissistic parents. But we do expect more from our parents, especially because we're socially conditioned to believe that they love us unconditionally and they're supposed to always be there for us. So that would include accountability and a fair. And unfortunately, they're not able to do that. So there is a grieving process that's attached to that, and it literally is all the stages of grief. First, it's like denial, like, oh, this isn't going on. I certainly had that. Even when friends of mine would point it out, they'd be like, oh yeah, your mom's really kind of mean to you and jealous of you and stuff. And I'd be like, oh no, like, and then it really does hit, and it's embarrassing too, right? Because you also don't want that to be the case. You want to have like a normal mom or parent, and they're choosing to not do that. They're choosing to be in their misery and pain and project that onto you, and like their drama addiction, because all narcissists have drama addictions. So, and that's embarrassing too as a child. So they're choosing to do that. And then going back and forth, of course, the debating with them, like, okay, if you do this, can you just be a normal parent? Or even a lot of children of narcissistic parents, they think it's on them, and that they can control reality or the parent's behavior. So like, okay, if I just get all A's, if I'm just a little bit better, if I just never say anything, if I'm just perfect, if I'm all of these things, then maybe she won't do that. Because the narcissistic parent, another way they don't take responsibility for their behavior, if they like rage or do anything that they're not supposed to, it's your fault. You made me do that. You made me yell at you. You made me hit you. You upset me, so you made me not show up for your whatever it was. Or it's not a big deal. If they did do it and they can't find any way to deny that it happened, it's like, it's not a big deal. That's not how it went down. There's all these forms of not taking accountability, which is very difficult and heartbreaking as well. So all of those things, I just want you to know that you're not alone. And all of those things, unfortunately, are par for the course. They're very normal when you have a narcissistic parent. And then often you grow up and your brain unconsciously, most of the time, is associating love with those things. Your brain associates love with instability. Your brain associates love with breadcrumbing, and then like love bombing, and then it all getting taken away, which is the instability piece. Everything about the narcissistic cycle is very unstable, and it's very it causes a lot of cortisol spikes to the nervous system, which is why people get sick and they age so much when they're dealing with a narcissist. Mm. So, um, oh yeah. So when you're an adult, you're unconsciously attracting these relationships again. And a lot of people are confused. I certainly was, especially because I'm like, oh yes, logically I know this stuff, I studied it in grad school. But it doesn't matter if you haven't healed those wounds. You will energetically still attract that until you do heal the wounds. And then and you're able to just like bring it into consciousness first and then do the healing. But you'll notice that you keep attracting narcissistic relationships in work relationships, in personal relationships, friendships, and romantic relationships. And it's like, why am I being treated like why is this showing up again? And it's because your brain is consciously and unconsciously associating that with love. And you have a belief system, whether it's conscious or not, that is showing you that somewhere in there, you believe that this is love and this is what you deserve. And this is only what you deserve. You don't deserve something stable or peaceful or reciprocal. That's why in the post I just did for neuroconditioning for love and stable relationships, I say that a lot. Like, you get to experience and receive the love that you so freely give. And I would highly recommend saying that to yourself on a regular basis. I freely receive the love I so freely give, and the generosity and the care and all of those things. When you're raised by a narcissistic parent, that is one of the things, is that you you have trouble receiving, because you think that like love is transactional and that you have to do all these things to get a little bit of love, and then if you do get something like a gift, or like you're told like you're loved or something, you think you have to do all these things. It causes a lot of what's called anxious attachment. So you feel like when you have something good happen to you, or when love is showing up in your life, or so someone is just nice to you, that you have to go over, like you have to really perform, like love is transactional. We kind of think that, not that you're a transactional person, but you think that in order to keep someone, if you sorry, I'll read that in a minute. You feel like in order to keep someone, that you have to earn their love, because your narcissistic parent told you consciously or subconsciously or through their actions that you are not lovable, because they don't feel lovable. All narcissists hate themselves. So you latched onto that belief as a child, consciously and subconsciously, and decided to, okay, bye, see ya. And then chose to like take that as something that's true, when in fact it's false. You're just taking on some of the narcissistic parents' beliefs. So you get to reprogram your brain in that way. So now you are banned forever. Bye. Like, do not. So, if you're new here, I am a therapist. I have a master's degree in psychology, and I help people rewire their brain and nervous system to have healthy, healing, or stable relationships, and literally just have the best whatever you want in life. If you fucking show up to my thing, like of all people, like and like or like show me your feed, or you try to like spam my shit, I will ban you forever. I don't care about the views. I just care about helping people. I will ban your ass forever, so you cannot even watch a video of mine, bitch. Okay. So just warning before you even fucking think about it. Okay. Namaste. So back to what I was saying. When you are raised by a narcissistic parent, especially a narcissistic mom, because the female energy, the maternal energy, is there to show you what love and relationships is like, that feeling of emotional safety. So if you don't have that, it really shows up in your relationships, and you either develop avoidant attachment. And people that develop avoidant attachment, they become narcissists a lot of times, like their mom or parent. Or anxious attachment, where you have this codependent style where you feel like you have to earn love all the time, and that you can never do enough to earn love, and that you don't like feel worthy of whatever love you're receiving, and that it's going to be taken away at any time. And so it causes all of this anxiety, and you're on pins and needles. And unfortunately, narcissists like know how to find those people. Narcissists love those people, because those anxiously attached people, they will overperform and like praise and everything the narcissist or anyone, and narcissists love that. And then they know that when narcissists start doing the devaluing, they'll chase even harder and harder. So it creates this like really bad push and pull dynamic until the anxious attached person decides to heal, and then they don't attract that anymore. But it's really hard, and it's really, if you do have anxious attachment, like, I'm here for you. I'm here to support that, because it really feels debilitating, and it feels really scary. It feels like I love this person and it could be taken away at literally any second. So I want to check on them all the time, and I want to do more for them, and I want to blah blah blah. And in fact, that typically pushes people away, or it'll attract a narcissist or toxic person that will manipulate and control you and take advantage of that. But both of those things are not real love, right? Like, even the anxiously attached person desperately wants love, but isn't really available for real love and connection, because they think they have to earn it. And they think that a lot of anxiously attached people feel that love is dangerous, because it's going to be taken away, or they're going to be punished, or like something bad's going to happen. So once you uncover all of those things, whatever your underlying fear-based beliefs are about love, if you're able to look at them and journal them, and if you aren't aware, look what's going on in your relationships that you don't like. Do you get abandoned? Do you get really annoyed and feel like, oh, they're smothering me, so you do stuff to push them away? That's avoidant attachment. Look into that. No shame, no shame, especially if you're here. That means you want to be better. So it's just something to look at. And again, if you have any questions about mental health, relationships, narcissist, like anything like that, please let me know any questions that you have around your self-development. And then also any wins for the week, anything you want to celebrate for the week, and any intentions that you might have for the week. Definitely want to support those. And I'm going to look at the other questions. On when I live stream, I also bring in questions that people ask me in my comments and DMs on my content. Oh, the scarcity thing. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so when we grow up with a narcissistic mom or dad, we have these underlying beliefs around scarcity that limit us financially and otherwise. It's like there's scarcity in every area of life. Like there's not enough love, there's not enough money, there's not enough anything, right? Because narcissists, one, I don't know if you've ever noticed, if you have a narcissist in your life, they're hoarders. They hold on to everything. They're very cheap. Like a lot, oftentimes they're cheap, or a lot of times if they're not cheap up front, like that's part of the love bombing, they'll like spend a lot of money and then they'll like start cutting it off and be like, well, you need that. I just got you something that's expensive, like all this stuff. So there really is an underlying thing of scarcity somewhere with a narcissist. So when you grow up with a narcissistic parent, you have this underlying belief that I don't deserve that. I'm not worthy of that. This is hard to come by. And like, and maybe you actually did grow up with like less money plus a narcissistic parent, then it doubles that, right? Because then what I've seen with people that maybe grew up with not that much money and they have a narcissistic parent, the child somehow thinks it's their fault because the narcissistic parent was like, they just feel overburdened by the child mere existence, right? So it's kind of like, okay, well, the narcissistic parent is saying, you don't deserve this, or you're just such a burden to me emotionally, physically, financially. And so children feel that way. All children of narcissistic parents feel that way. That's also where the performative stuff comes in, but especially around money and finances. So a lot of times in adulthood, there's a very strained relationship with money. There's an unstable relationship with money. There's a chasing and anxious attachment energy with money. So not only do you have anxious attachment with in your relationships and romantic relationships where you're worried about them leaving all the time and feel like you have to do so much to earn them, you do that with money too. So with your relationship with money, you overwork and you're working yourself to death to just earn a minimum wage or whatever it is, even if you're really talented or smart or really good at what you do. Have you ever noticed that people that have codependent tendencies, they will work extra hard to get like a little bit of something. Meanwhile, someone that's more on the narcissistic side, this is why I use Kim Kardashian as an example. Whether you like her or not, it doesn't matter. She feels entitled to things. She feels entitled to be a billionaire with no talent, with not really contributing all that much to the world. But it works because her belief system is aligned to expect to have money and whatever else. So that's what she gets. And, whatever, she has other issues, but people that were raised by narcissistic parents have the opposite. They often have the opposite, where they think that they have to work so hard to just have a little bit of something. And even that little bit of something can be taken away at any time because it was in the past. The love, the affection, or, I've heard a million stories of people that were raised by narcissistic parents, their favorite toy or whatever was as a form of punishment or just to be mean to the child, was taken away or thrown in the trash or something like that. So nothing felt stable or secure. And that is the one thing that you're looking for as a child, for like stability and security. And that wasn't available to you at that time. I'm just doing paperwork and listen. Oh, well, hello. Paperwork. That is a good thing to do. Get caught up on the week. And again, let me know if you guys have any questions about mental health, narcissist. Um, hello, Medusa. Let me know if you have any questions about mental health, narcissist relationships, toxic relationships. That's what I specialize in helping you guys reprogram your brain and nervous system for healthier relationships and literally to get whatever you want out of life, right? Because oftentimes we get stuck in these feedback loops that aren't serving us. And we're like, why do I keep getting the same result? And you're freaking trying hard. You're not like complaining, like, I have this. No, you're like, what am I doing wrong? And we just need to reprogram something in the brain, something in the subconscious mind, which can easily be done. And I say that because I feel like a lot of industries don't want you to know how easily your brain is so powerful, and you do have that much. It's your brain, right? And so you have the power to change your life, any aspect of your life, health, wealth, relationships, career, anything, by just reprogramming your brain and nervous system. And I always say this, there are a lot of industries in place that don't want you to know how powerful your mind is and that you can control your mind in that way. But I am here to tell you that. That is why a lot of my content is about rewiring your brain to get whatever you want in life. And a lot of it starts with who you're identifying as. Really, who you're identifying as, and how do you talk to yourself? If you really listen, because sometimes we have these inner critics and they're just on autopilot, and they're just old messaging that we got from a toxic parent or a toxic situation, a trauma, and then we're just replaying it in our head like it's the truth, and it's not. And so I'm here to help you to, one, be aware of that feedback loop that is not serving you, and uninstall that program. Just like an old app, like I just said, like that's running in the background that you don't need anymore. Can you get rid of that because it's draining your energy? And can you install a new updated system? That is what I'm here to help you do. And a lot of it is choosing to shift your identity. You really do have to make a choice. You notice the behavior, okay, or you notice the pattern. I don't like this pattern. I don't like how my relationships are doing this. I don't like how money is showing up for me, or I have this relationship with money. I don't like how my health is, whatever it is. Decide what it is and say, okay, I have this pattern. It's up and down. It's unstable, and now I want it to be stable. I want to have consistently good health. I want to have consistently X amount of dollars in my bank account. And that just grows and grows and grows. All of my relationships, they get to be consistently healthy, stable, secure, loving, and supportive. That is the only thing I'm available for now. When you start to identify, like just draw a line in the sand, and I don't care if your reality is not showing you that right now. You get to decide in any given moment, this is my new reality. I am shifting my identity to this. That's why when I give you affirmations to do, I say them in the first like I'm talking to you. You have this, but then I ask you to repeat them like I am, because I am is very powerful. When you say I am, you start to create a new neural pathway in your brain. And even if you're just saying it without any, like if it's kind of robotic at first, and then you start saying it with more and more feeling, you start to create a new identity. And you really can't have anything in your life show up consistently, like for good, if you don't have that somewhere rooted in your identity. And here's the other thing. If you have something going on consistently that you don't like, there is a false belief that you have that you're holding on to that you get to let go of. And it could be like, my metabolism is slow. Even if every doctor has told you that, I don't care what you've been brainwashed to believe. Brainwash yourself to believe that your metabolism is fast. I literally did that, and it shifted my metabolism. It helped a lot of clients do that, because what you tell your body responds to. Your thoughts, your cells respond to every thought in your body. And they've done studies on this. People that worry about cancer or worry about something get that. And I've talked about the multiple personalities, like when someone has multiple personalities, which is called dissociative identity disorder now. But like they'll be in one personality, and then that personality has cancer, like literally has cancer, tested has cancer, and they shift to another personality. There is no detection of the cancer. That is wild, you guys. If you ever doubt how powerful your mind is, go look into the studies on dissociative identity disorder and how you can literally, how two personalities in the same body can have a disease. Like they've done one on AIDS or cancer. Like look at it, go ahead, and it just is not there in the other one. So I'm here to help you with that in any way with neurological reprogramming techniques. And on Soothing Sundays, I keep like as soon as this is done, I just hit end, and then it's available for you guys to look at. So every Soothing Sunday, I do another neurological reprogramming technique. I have been doing neuroconditioning affirmations for a while because you guys really like them and they work so well. If you're continuously telling yourself something on repeat, you will start to believe it. I'm telling you, it will get into your subconscious mind, and maybe it doesn't show up like, oh, I'm saying this, but all of a sudden you get a new opportunity that comes into your life. All of a sudden you're more energized, or your health has gotten better. Just saying. And if you don't believe me, just try it. Just try it for fun. Just try it for fun. I just like listening to you speak with such confidence and emotion. I can hear the knowledge, care in your speech, and tonal fluctuation. Thank you. Thank you. I comment to make you angry. And you're spicy when you get upset with people. I just, I'm protective of you guys. And of course, like my channel and my space, and like, yeah, I don't have any tolerance for that. And I would really, I also, want to lead by example, right? And I also want you to do that for yourself. Have good boundaries, have good, healthy boundaries, and not tolerate anything that doesn't serve you or doesn't respect you or give you the love or care that you need. You want, need, and deserve. I should say that, because we don't just settle for what we just need. And then that was another thing, another scarcity thing, that a lot of times when we have narcissistic parents, we're told we're selfish and we're just so demanding and whatever and too sensitive and all these things. So in adulthood, we consciously or subconsciously will only give ourselves the bare minimum. And it's like, oh, well, I just need this and that's not enough, whether you want more or not, or whether you need more or not. Like you will only allow yourself to have the bare minimum. So you get to tell yourself, and I really want you to start telling yourself this until you believe it, until it becomes a real part of your identity, that you get to have everything that you want, need, and deserve, and that this whole bare minimum thing is a thing of the past. And this is another place where inner child work can really come in. So you could tell the, 8-year-old version of yourself that maybe wanted the bike or whatever it is, but your narcissistic parent said no, or you're being selfish, or you don't deserve that, whatever. You go back and reparent that 8-year-old and give themselves a bike, like in your imagination, and be like, you get to have everything that you want. And when you do this, you guys, when I do this with clients, all of a sudden they get the money that shows up for the car that they wanted, or they get like the opportunity, or they get that relationship, because they've made themselves emotionally available to receive what they want, need, and deserve. Because you can want something but not be literally emotionally available for it to receive it, because there's this other belief that like I don't deserve it, or the belief that if I receive this good thing that I want, something bad will happen, because in the past your narcissistic parent would get jealous of you or take it away, or burn it, or throw it away, stuff like that. I've heard a lot of things, or give it to a sibling. I've had that happen. It's like, and it's just to create chaos and drama, which narcissists are addicted to, and to make you feel terrible. We have to remember that narcissists feel terrible and hate themselves. They have the lowest self-esteem of any people in the world. Okay. They have the lowest self-esteem. So they are constantly looking for people to project it on. And they literally feel a sense of relief when you get upset. I've seen this firsthand. And I remember when I dated this narcissist once, and like did something to finally like start making me cry. And then he's like, oh, well, I feel better now. Insane, but that's what they do. So if that has happened to you, yeah, don't be surprised because they literally feel a sense of relief when they could offload some of their shame and guilt onto you. They get a temporary sense of relief, but they have to continue to keep doing it. So, so if you were raised by a narcissistic parent, I invite you to look at where you might have limiting beliefs around your worth and scarcity. Like, and it could be like, say you want a new couch, right? And you might even need a new couch, but you want one. It's not like, oh my God, I'm going to die if I don't get it. So that's why I'm using the couch as an example. And, but something about you won't let yourself get it. Maybe you like don't have the money right now, or you keep making um, excuses for not getting the couch or whatever it is that you don't want. I want you, that's a form of scarcity. So, and you restricting yourself from something that you want. You can have the couch, you can have the new car, you can have that pair of shoes or whatever it is, you can have it. And I would give that to yourself without any guilt. And start telling yourself that, like, I get to have that. I get to have nice things. I get to have my home be beautiful and organized and whatever it is. I get to feel safe. I get to be at peace. I get to have stability. So you get to say those things to yourself. So I invite you guys to do that this week. Just claim it. Like, I get to have these things. I'm worthy of these things. And let me tell you something, in case you're wondering, you are worthy of having whatever it is you want just because you exist, just because you want it. Okay. And the person, like, and I, whatever you call God, source, universe, whatever you call it, that's what they think about you. That is, you get to you don't have to earn anything, you don't have to overperform, you don't have to do any of that. You just have to show up and be you. That's it. You just have to show up and say thank you, and it's already yours. And that is a wild, mind-blowing concept if you grew up with a toxic, narcissistic, borderline, any of the, personality disorders. You're like, "What?" 'Cause you were told, like, what a piece of shit you are and how you have to work extra hard for everything because, you suck or nothing's given to you or whatever it was. Just this over, exaggerated thing about how you're not really worthy of anything. Well, I am here to tell you that you are, my love. You are worthy of whatever it is you want just because you're you. Just because you're you. And I'm telling you, the minute this is like a quantum physics thing, the minute you desire something, you already have it on another like level of consciousness. But that's why when you think about it more and you just claim it as yours and your identity, it can drop into your reality so much faster. So that's why I'm having you guys repeat these things. And also, whatever you give energy to, you get more of. So if you stop giving energy to the old feedback loop of scarcity, I'm not worthy, this is hard to come by, money is unstable, love is unstable. If you stop giving energy to those and you're like, love is so stable, I have the best, most loving relationships, I have the best support group, money is always there for me, I'm a multimillionaire, I receive X amount of whatever dollars in my bank account. And that is just like, if you keep repeating those things, money is always easily coming to me. The best, most exciting opportunities are always coming to you. Isn't that great? That's just normal for you now. Isn't that awesome? So if you continue to feed your brain those things, whatever it is, you will create that in your reality. I promise you that is what will show up in your reality. You've had enough of the opposite, right? Especially if you grew up in a toxic environment, you had like shit things happen and shit experiences. So why not give all of your energy to the outcome that you want? Why not just try it? And try it for a week or try it for several days and then come back on Wednesday when I go live next, which will be at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But when, and let me know what happens. Let me know if anything shifted in your reality. Because why not? Why not give it a try? And also, I also want you to do it just so you know how powerful you are and just so you know how powerful your mind is. When Neville Goddard, who's like one of the like grandfathers of learning, teaching us about manifestation, he would always say that he would encourage people to manifest just so you know that you can do it. And he has some stories of like wealthy ladies who didn't really, they had everything. And so she's like, one of them was like, okay, I'll just manifest a hat, like a hat that some silly little hat, and it came into her reality right away. And also because there was no resistance, but it was a very specific hat. It's just one of many stories, but there were people that Neville Goddard helped that like, oh my God, I need $30,000 like right away. And it's written back in the day, so it'll be like $3,000, which is equivalent to $30,000 or $40,000 now. And through the power of their thinking, like there is no way for this money to show up ever, right? If you're just looking at reality. But he was like, okay, he would take his clients like, okay, you need $30,000 right now. Why don't you visualize this? And it's literally just money coming in, that $30,000 or whatever you want coming in without worrying about the how, because you're letting the universe worry about the how. The universe will take care of the how. God will take care of the how. And in those stories, they got exactly what they wanted, or tickets to like front row tickets to a show. So anyway, if you don't know who Neville Goddard is, I would highly recommend. And the book that I like the most is just called the Neville Collection, because it's a collection of a lot of his different like essays and lectures. And if you're really, really, really wanting to reprogram your brain, I would listen to those. Like I listened to them in the car, and I might have heard them 10, 20 times already. I will listen to it again because it always shows. And I just, when I hear something different, it is one of those books. It's like, oh, I heard that differently this time. But it's like your mind is that powerful. You can really create anything that you want. But you have to give your precious energy to the right things, to the outcome that you want, as if you already have it. I don't care if it's been this way for 20 years, it can be this way now. I promise you that. Joe Dispenza also talks about this. He really focuses on like health, and he's, in a lot of his seminars, he helps people like, they start getting up and walking again, that have been wheelchair bound. But like in his seminars and retreats, you are devoting so much mental energy, like all day long, to the outcome that you want. And he does breathing techniques and all this stuff. And if you like that path, you can do that. I want you guys to breathe. I'm always encouraging you to breathe deeply to lower your cortisol levels. But if between breathing deeply and claiming what you want and just dropping an old identity, completely dropping an old identity, you can create a completely different reality for yourself. There's also another book called Psycho-Cybernetics, which is about exactly what I'm talking about identity formation and identity transformation. And so in Psycho-Cybernetics, he was this guy that's a plastic surgeon, and he is like, why do some of my clients get this plastic surgery and they become a whole new person? Like their whole life gets better. And why do some of my clients get the surgery that they thought would like change everything and they didn't? And in fact, the surgery like goes back to like if they got a nose job, it'll like grow again. But sometimes it doesn't do that for other people. And he realized it was because of their attitude and how they felt about themselves and their identity shift. And the people that had an identity shift literally had a new reality. And the people that didn't, they're just like, oh, I got this. And then, yeah, but I still suck, or I'm still ma. And we all know people like that, right? They're just like addicted to their victimhood. They're addicted to their misery. And so their situation was the same or it got worse. And so he really understood that your identity, that's how powerful your identity is. It could literally shape your reality. So I'm just inviting you to do that and really own whatever it is that you want. Own it now. And again, if you guys have any questions about mental health, relationships, narcissists, anything like that, or you want to celebrate a win that you had this week, we celebrate our wins here. And or if you have an intention for the week, if you have like, this is the new behavior I want to do, it could just be thinking more positively. It could be waking up 10 minutes earlier, whatever it is. Write it in the comments, because it's really good to like put things out into the ether. Like, yes, I'm going to do this. It just like energetically shifts something to put something down on paper or put it in the comments, and I'll say it out loud and encourage you even more. But let me know. Otherwise, I'll wrap up. I think that was it for the comments. Like the scarcity thing with narcissistic parents goes deep. And yeah, just keeps seeing how it's showing up in your life. Mm. Even the inability to relax, or you feel unsafe when you're relaxing, or you feel like you should be doing something when you're relaxing, everyone needs to relax. Your nervous system, and I'm not talking about numbing out. There's a difference. I'm talking about you're doing something that your nervous system likes. So it could be taking a bath, it could be watching a show. But there's a difference between watching a couple episodes of a show and laughing and then going to bed, and then numbing out till like 5 in the morning. That's numbing out, right? Where you're just binge watching to avoid something or to suppress something. But when you do feel unsafe or you're judging yourself for relaxing, that is a form of scarcity that could have been formed in childhood from a parent telling you that you need to work harder, that you're not enough, all of those things. So they show up in these sneaky ways in adulthood. So notice where they're coming up, where their perfectionist stuff is coming up, where your inner critic is having some fear-based reaction like that's dumb, or you shouldn't be doing that, or whatever it is. You look a certain way that's not nice, whatever it is. Where is your inner critic doing that? And it's making you not feel good about yourself. But yeah, any other questions or comments? If not, I'll wrap up. Again, if you're watching this later, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. And if you are non-contact with your mom or parents, you're in the right place, because you can definitely get a lot of healing here done. A lot of my content is healing from narcissistic relationships, whether it's from your parents or a romantic relationship, healing from narcissistic relationships, and thriving after them. A lot of content that's out there is about like, okay, here's how to get over it, and it's this like hyper focus on the narcissist. That's what I was noticing, and that's why I created my program around healing from narcissistic relationships, because the first word in that program is thriving after narcissistic relationships and toxic and abuse, like, because and toxic relationships, because I want you to thrive. We always have to learn from any type of relationship we have. And so what did that teach you about yourself? And then from there, can we thrive? Because a lot of times when you hit rock bottom like that, it's kind of like, okay, I never want this to happen again. And so boom, I am ready to jettison, to take off to another level and be the best version of myself that I can, because that toxic relationship was really holding me down. Toxic people want you to stay down. They want you to suffer. They want you to not be in a good place, because they can feed off of you. They can manipulate and control you, and it makes them feel good. Your suffering makes them feel good. So they don't want you to be better. So when you come to me, whether it's one-on-one or in one of my course on this, your intention I want for you is to thrive, and I am creating a safe container for you to thrive. In any of my content here, any of my videos, and in my course, especially because it's really focused on that. I want you to like have everything that you want in life, know it's possible, and then literally have anything that you want in your life. Rich Auntie, thank you. Happy Mother's Day to you. Thank you for this video. Oh, of course. I love that name, Rich Auntie. You are so welcome. Yeah, if you have any questions, let me know about relationships or toxic relationships or mental health. And if you have any wins to celebrate for the week, let me know. And if you have any intentions for the week, let me know. And please, or let us know, is what I mean. And even if you're not going to write your intentions in the comments, I am sending out the best vibes for you to get whatever you want, to follow through with those intentions, to work out more times this week if that's what it is, or wake up earlier, or just love yourself. Just have positive. That's what I want more for you guys, like more than anything, is to just be fucking nice to yourself. Be the good friend that you are to everyone else. Do that to yourself, please. please provide yourself that love. I comment to make you angry. I'd love to speak with you, but someone not going to say who decided oh gosh. Rich Auntie, every moment of every day I am healthier and healthier, and every moment of every day I am wealthy and wealthy and wealthy. I am wealthy and wealthy. Lastly, every moment of every day I give him receive more and more. Yes. Yes, I love that, Rich Auntie. So you get to be in that receptive state, right? Because a lot of us have these unconscious beliefs, or our inner critic is like, no, you don't deserve that, or you, if you do receive it, then you should feel guilty about it. None of that. We just receive with joy and say thank you. I love that, Rich Auntie. Nice. Healthier and healthier. And the Silva method that Jose Silva invented, no, you're fine. I just wanted to make sure I was reading it right. No, you're totally fine. So in the Silva method, one of the techniques that he says, I am every day in every way, I am getting better and better. Every day in every way, I am getting better and better. And then just to repeat that, every day in every way, I am getting better and better. And then you could add healthier and wealthier, just like Rich Auntie's talking about. So I love it. I love it. Let's keep that up. We are every day, we're getting better and better. With every breath you take, you're getting better and better and healthier and wealthier. You are. And you're letting more love into your life, more success, more all the things that you want. And you get to have them just because you're you, just because you are the precious you. That's it. Isn't that wonderful? Well, guys, it's so good to see you all and hear from you. I'll be back here live streaming on YouTube on Wednesday. And then, follow me on TikTok and Instagram. My intention is to go live on TikTok more. I'm going to do that. That's like outside of my comfort zone. I'm always encouraging you guys to do something outside of your comfort zone. So going live in general is completely outside of my comfort zone. That's why I'm doing it. Gotta live by example. But especially on TikTok, TikTok is like very interactive, which is cool. So when I'm not live here, which is Sunday or Wednesday, I'm going to add in a live stream on TikTok as well. So follow me there as well. And then, DM me and let me know if there's a topic or question that you want me to talk about for the next live stream, because I like answering your questions. Or you could just show up here and ask the questions too. All right, guys, I love you. Have a beautiful rest of your day and week. This is going to be an amazing week, an amazing month for you. Look at me. Look me in the eye. This is going to be an amazing week, an amazing month for you. Okay. I just need you to claim that. I need you to receive that and believe that. Okay. Because it is. I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.